At least we are live. To share. Okay, perfect. We're live, we're ready, we're good to roll. We're making today, we're getting ready for Israel week. Say that's well, in Judaism, Sunday it's the first day. So this is the first day of Israel week. Every year in Israel, we're celebrating Yom HaZikaron and Yom HaAtzmaut, and they're coming day right after the other. And those two days, Yom HaZikaron is the Memorial Day, so it's kind of a mixture of Memorial Day and Veteran Day in the United States. It's the day that we remember all the people that died protecting Israel or from terror attacks in Israel. And the day after, so if this week it's tomorrow night is the evening of Yom HaZikaron, and Tuesday during the day is Yom HaZikaron itself. So in the evening of Tuesday, we're already celebrating our Independence Day. We're celebrating Yom HaAtzmaut. And it's kind of a rough transfer between those two days for a lot of those families, but in the same time, I feel it's exactly telling the story of the Israeli society by this connection of those 2 days. And sometimes I feel it's really hard to explain the feeling that we are experiencing in those days. And the project that we're doing today is called Taste of Memories, and we're cooking a recipe that was the favorite recipe of a fallen soldier. This project was established by a shlicha that was she was 2 years ago in Minneapolis, and she was wondering, how can I really connect my community into those stories? It's not their experiences, it's really hard to bring out. And she established this project, and she just started as a small event for her community, but then from then it grew up to be a really international thing. And she have a website and includes stories and recipes, and I know most of us shlichim are doing it today in our communities, and I also see private people are doing it in their houses in Israel and cooking something in a memory of a fallen soldier, and it creates this meaningful way to remember. And I think the reason that it's so meaningful is because when you think about family, so a lot of time family is this gathering around a table, especially in Jewish families, and everyone have their things that they like. And I remember myself coming back from the army, and my mom would call me and tell me, what do you want to have for Shabbat? What is the thing that you want to have for lunch? What should I make especially for you? And we're kind of looking for this taste, and every taste have a memory. It's like this candy that you eat and it throws you right back to childhood. So this is what this project is coming to do. I chose that we're gonna make today cinnamon cake. We actually made it last year. It was really, really great and successful. So I thought it's good to go back for it. And also, I feel it's so simple. It's such a simple thing, right? Because when you think about what your mom is making to you, you're not gonna say, I'm dreaming about this gourmet meal that I want her to make. It's like this simple flavor that it's just yours, and nobody's cinnamon cake will be good as your mom's cinnamon cake, right? Because it's the one taste that you're coming back to it, or your dad's, of course. And the special thing about this project, if every recipe that I do, I kind of give you my own tips and my own stories and my own examples. In this one, I'm just sticking to the recipe of the mom. We're trying to come back and remember this specific flavor to remember the soldier. So Daniel Shiran died in 2006 during the Lebanon War. We're later gonna talk and learn about him today a little bit more. I want us to make the cake, and while it's baking, we can kind of give it a stop and give him a little bit more moment for him to be remembered. So we're gonna start. The first thing that we're gonna do is just turn on our oven on 350 degrees. Just preheat it so it'll be ready to bake. Let me clean the things out of the line. Okay. So we're gonna start by separating our eggs. We are supposed. Oh, let me show you all the things that we have here, so we can make sure that you have all the ingredients we need to do. Okay. So we have here 4 eggs. We have here coconut shred, oil, orange juice, cinnamon, baking powder, sugar, and yeah, I think that's all. It's pretty simple recipe, so it's kind of nice and easy to do and to make. Okay. So we're gonna start by separating our eggs. Well, I know how you do. I will put in my mixer bowl the egg white, and in this bowl I'll put my yolks. Okay, so in the bowl that you're gonna mix by hands, put the yolks, whatever that you have in your bowl. And if you actually, it'll be better if you want to do it first of all into a cup or something, just to make sure that it doesn't break, and if the egg goes bad, so you can just throw it away. It doesn't ruin all of the rest of the eggs you broke. Like I just did. Let's save it. Okay. This is 2. If the yellow breaks into your white, you need to replace your egg. This is 3. Separating our last egg here. For people who just joined us, we're making cinnamon cake. If you have the ingredients, you're welcome to join. We have the recipe on my Facebook page, so you can take a little sneak peek there. Okay. Wash my hands. Perfect. Now we're gonna add half cup of sugar into the egg whites, and we're gonna start. Actually, we're gonna first of all start whipping those eggs. When we start this, see that they're a little bit foamy. We're gonna add slowly. Whoa, what's going on with me today? I'm excited. I'm a little bit nervous. Okay. We're gonna whip it slowly, and then we're gonna. After it start having a little bit bubbles, we're gonna start adding slowly half cup of sugar into the mixer. This is when we're separating the eggs, usually it helps the egg to be a little bit more, it helps the cake to be a little bit more fluffy and less thick things, okay? So the fluffiness that we're gonna make out of the eggs right now, gonna help us to make it. Well, I'm starting to add it really, really slow, okay? You don't wanna add it all in one. We're gonna let it mix until we feel it's thick enough and it's strong enough to. Hello, Deborah. Welcome.
Thanks.
Okay. Again, here in the second bowl, we're gonna do the same deal that we're gonna whip the eggs, and while we're whipping, we're gonna add the sugar into it. Okay. So we're gonna need here the rest of 1 cup of sugar. It's gonna be noisy in here. I'm sorry, we have 2 machines running, so you will have to forgive me. Sorry, I can't talk if you don't hear. I'm gonna pass this noisy level and we'll be okay. Okay. Now you can hear me a little bit better. I'm sorry for the noise. Okay, so you see that our mixture here is kind of dry and fluffy, okay? That's what we want to have. We don't want to have it like too liquidy. Here it's still getting more white. It will take a little bit longer than this. Meanwhile, we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients, okay? So the juice, the orange juice, we need 1 cup of orange juice. Um, half cup of oil, less than a half cup of oil, so just a little bit, not a full half. And putting almost 2 cups of flour we're gonna add now. Okay. 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And we're mixing it until it's mixed. I'm gonna use the hand one now just to be a little bit more quiet, less messy. We just want to mix it until it's all one mixture. I know, for me, it always touches me to know that I'm helping somebody else to be remembered and not to kind of let it go by. For each, there is so many soldiers and people that we need to remember, but it's still the fact that you gave somebody something personal that is just for them, great in my opinion. Almost smooth. We mostly don't want to have chunkies of flour in it. Nobody want to bite flour. My workout for today, mixing the yeah. Gonna work on both of the hands and gonna make it. We're making today a cinnamon cake in the memory of Daniel Silan. Daniel Silan, a soldier who died in Lebanon War. Okay. Our mixture here is pretty smooth. Kind of thick and smooth. This one is still getting a little bit maybe I want to say another minute or so. When you feel it's hard, we can start mixing them together. Okay. See that our mixture here with egg and sugar is super thick, so it doesn't liquid, it doesn't fall down, it's strong enough. It means that we can mix the two. How we're mixing, we're using the spatula, we're not mixing it with the whip anymore. Finally, it's a little bit more quiet. Okay, perfect. This will be another little workout. We're just gonna add it all inside. And we're gonna just start wrapping it, okay? So we're not mixing, we're just wrapping it slowly until everything is mixed together. See, I'm just kind of taking from the out and bringing it to the middle, taking from the out and bringing it to the middle, till slowly everything will come together smooth. We're trying to do it just to not make the foam to drop down and then the egg will be too thick. That's why we're doing it. This on our face over here. Now you can see my microwave better. I feel that during Yom Ha'atzmaut, just share experiences. When you're celebrating Yom HaZikaron and Yom Ha'atzmaut outside of Israel and without Israelis, it's can be just a little bit of different experience. And I'll share with you a meaningful one that I had. When I was traveling in Southeast Asia, I was in India for Yom HaZikaron in a little village who called Dharamsala, and they have there an Israeli house. So it's Israeli people from an organization called Bina, and you know they're bringing Israelis together and making them programming and stuff like this. And they said that for I think it was the first time that they decided to do Yom HaZikaron ceremony for all the Israelis who are there. I don't know how many you know, but most Israelis are going to India at this point or another. It's really a big place for us to travel. And okay, so see, it's all mixed over here together. So they decided to have a ceremony, and we had there over 200 people came to the ceremony in this little village in the middle of India. Really, I want to say you have there more Israelis than Indian people. And it was just so touching to understand how much this day is meaningful for Israelis. And I think it's so meaningful for Israelis because we all been there. We all been there. We all know the soldiers. We all know the experiences of being in the army. We all know the feeling of going to somewhere and not knowing how or what is gonna happen with it, and that's what makes it so meaningful. So that was kind of a big time for me to be outside of Israel and be in such a big ceremony in the memory of the soldiers. And we had a few siblings that lost their brother or sister during the war, so they told her the stories, and it was just how those things are bringing us together. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna make the cinnamon mix. I'm just gonna take here a bowl. And we're gonna add 3 tablespoons of sugar, which I add in here. Okay, we're gonna add 1 tablespoon of cinnamon. I need to open its new. Okay, and then 1/4 of a cup of shredded coconut. I love the taste of coconut. Hi, Lori. So I have today dinner with Lori, so I said I'll bring her the cake to try. So 1/4 of a cup. Okay. We're just gonna mix it, and that will be our mixture, the cinnamon mixture that we're gonna add to the cake. Smells good. I love cinnamon. Okay, perfect. Now just take a pan for a cake, a bread pan. Oil it a little bit. You can use butter, or you can use an oil spray, whatever you have in hand and more comfortable for you. Just saying that the cake, meanwhile, is par. So if you want to keep it par, just use it. We're gonna fill it now halfway with our mixture. Okay. Not all the way up. And we're gonna use the cinnamon to kind of spread a layer of cinnamon in the middle of the cake. You can use the spoon a little bit to marble it inside if you want to make a little bit like more of a marble cake. Okay, so this is what we got inside. And we're gonna put on it another layer of cake mixture. Make sure you're not filling all the way up, just because the egg gonna rise a little bit more in the baking, so you don't want it to be too hot. And we're gonna put a little bit more cinnamon on top. Here I'm putting less. Whoops. This is what we got. We're gonna put it in the oven now for 40 minutes. We're gonna move the things a little bit, and then we're gonna just start do a little presentation about Daniel. We're gonna learn to know him a little bit while we're eating the cake, while we're waiting for the cake to be made. move the things a little bit, and then we can talk quietly.
Roan, what is the oven set at?
350. The oven set is 350 degrees.
350. Okay.
Yes.
Thanks.
So I'll bring here this, and I'm gonna share with you a little screen here. So for who of you that missed my my start, we're doing it as part of a project that's called Taste of Memories, and Taste of Memories is, just a second, I'm gonna see our Facebook Live on our Zoom. We're gonna see it for a second, and then we're gonna see our presentation. Okay. So Daniel Shiran, this is a picture up here. We're doing it part of a project that's called Taste of Memories. And this project is taking recipes of that the family of a fallen soldier gave and said that this is the favorite recipe that they had. And people are gathering to remember this specific fallen soldiers, or if you make a whole meal, so a few fallen soldiers, to remember their stories, to kind of come back to who they are, to their favorite taste. And I decided to dedicate this class to Daniel. First of all, because I feel that his story is really touching. His family is working a lot about keeping his memory alive. So if you want to check, they have a website. If you just Google his name, Daniel Shiran, they have a website. It's in English too. And he writes there all of his story and all of his showing there all kind of pictures and stuff like this. And all kind of different ways to keep his memory alive. And I feel that the sentence that I like the most with Daniel is the sentence that says, somebody has to be a fighter. Why not me? When Daniel was a kid, both of his parents went to university, and his dad went to be a doctor. And when you're going to be a doctor in Israel, 7 years of study and years of stage, and you need to take shifts, to be a doctor, it's not the most easy thing that you can do. And they asked his dad, maybe you should, choose something else so you can spend more time with the family and the kids and stuff. And he said, somebody needs to be a doctor, so why not me? And later on, Daniel, before his recruitment for the army, he wanted to be a fighter. I know how much you're familiar, but in Israeli society, it kind of depends where you're coming from. But when you wanna bring with you to the army, most of people don't feel like, oh, I just wanna get over with it. Maybe they talk like this and they joke like this, but they do wanna have a meaningful service. And sometimes being a fighter counts for a lot of people as the most meaningful that you can do, because you will stand in the front and you will do the job, and you will be the person to protect your country. And a lot of people want to be in this position. And also, I'll say it's also an ego thing that boys want to be fighters, right? If I'm already in the army, I want to be a fighter. He had some medical problems, and it took his profile down. So if his profile is low, he can't be a fighter, and he needs to do a little bit more supportive job. Daniel counted as a very, very smart kid. So they told him, maybe go to intelligence. Your donation will be really, really good there. But you won't be a fighter, and you won't hurt your health. And he said, no, I want to be a fighter. And he comes back and he tells his dad, if somebody has to be a fighter, why not me? Comes and uses that sentence. He did all of his troubles, and until he found a way to be a fighter and to join anyway, although his medical problem. And he joined the Golani Brigade in 2004. He served there. Golani Brigade is an army brigade. And if you see on his shoulder, he have this brown hat. That's the color of the Golani. Over here on his neck, he got the tree. This is the symbol of Golani. People are very proud to be part of the unit that they're in. And with the families, every Shabbat, a lot of the families will come when the soldiers stay in the base. They will come, they will bring cakes, they will bring cookies, they will bring food, just to make the soldiers and to meet the family, and it's part of all of it. In 2006, we had a second Lebanon war in north of Israel. It was a year with a lot of tents from all of the borders. And Daniel and his unit have been called to the north to be in the border of Lebanon. And they told to the families, you can come to the border, to the area of the border if you want to just make them happy. So the family came and they brought them all the good things. And the dad is telling that when he went there and he told him goodbye, he was looking at Daniel leaving until he couldn't see him anymore. And he said, I don't know why, but I have had a feeling that maybe it's the last time that I'm going to see him. And it really was the last time that he met Daniel. They have been called into to make an operation in Lebanon, and they needed to neutralize one of the houses that they had there, and they were afraid there was a terror cell in it of Hezbollah. And they went there, and they heard some shooting on the way when they started the operation. They heard some shooting in the area, and they weren't sure if it's the IDF powers that are shooting or is it Hezbollah that are shooting back. They were checking. They realized it's Hezbollah. They shoot fire back. They went into this house, and then as they got into this house, and Daniel was in the front floor because he was holding the Negev. It's the big missiles gun that he had, and he was going pretty much in the front. And as they got into this house and as they start to neutralize them, the commander told them, never mind, back down, go back to the house that you were sitting in, okay, to your base one, okay. On the way back, one of the guys in the front said that he see movement, and they're about to react to this movement. And before they were able to react, terrorists from Hezbollah was shooting on them, and they were starting to back down and to lay down, and they started to go. And one of them was, nudging Daniel and telling him, "Come on, let's go." And then he realized that he have been hurt, so he started to scream, "Daniel, I've been hurt! Daniel, I've been hurt!" And when the doctor came to try to help Daniel, he got shot and he got killed there too. Another soldier also died with Daniel, and another Daniel commander and another soldier have been hurt in this operation. And later on, they understood that even if the doctor would have made it to Daniel, Daniel died right away in the first shooting there. And that's it. That's how 20 years old life just been away. I thought it would be nice if we'll read something that his dad wrote on him and posted on the website. So we will read it together. The eyes that understood before you even explained, the silence that spoke more than we could hear, the ability to walk on the edge and never fall down, the shyness that hid so much talent. It all ended at 1:09, August 4th, 2006, in the terrible battle in Lebanon. Daniel Shiran, who fought for the right to be there, was killed by the enemy's fire. His life milestone could not predict this end. A gifted student, athlete, cook, scholar, volunteer, an excellent soldier, a boy who proved that even superlative can be true. The one his friend always loved to follow, felt better, safer, going out during youth adventures and later in the army. They trusted him, simply trusted him. That's how, in that cursed night, Daniel was up front, leading his platoon, the savage beasts from the 13th Regiment of the Golani Brigade, with his Negev machine gun, first in front of everybody else. And they shot the first. They always shoot the first. That's how we will remain forever, first in front of everybody else. And I think it's just beautiful to see how a leader is a leader, no matter where he goes. And I feel that that's how they saw Daniel. This is a little bit of a group of photos of Daniel with his family when he grew up, with his friends in the army. I like those photos that I choose to put up here, because even the one that he's sleeping in the Jeep, I'm not sure exactly when and what he was doing there, but it's so typical soldier, just to, fall asleep whenever you can, when you get a chance. Also, his friend telling about him in his website that wherever he could, he would find something soft. He would put his head on this something soft and he would just fall asleep, just to get some sleep. You can see he was a really good looking guy. He was having a loved family. There is so many more pictures on his website. And I'm just happy we have the chance to remember him here today. I'll be happy to hear if you have any questions. I'll go back to Facebook to see if someone reacted there. Alberta.
Did you know him, and how did you get this recipe that he liked?
So I did not know Daniel, but I got his recipe through the project that's called Taste of Memories. So as I mentioned before, it's a shlicha that went. She was shlicha in Minneapolis about 2 or 3 years ago, and she was looking for a way to remember, to how to connect the community into these stories, into those cases when you don't experience it. And I feel that in Israeli society, a lot of times the food is what brings us together, and she find that, and this she started to collect all kind of recipes from families, and they have a full website now. They put it in sections. It's like dairy, carb, meat, desserts, with all kind of different recipes of different soldiers and their stories, and all kind of things. So I took one from there, translated it to English, and brought it here to so we can cook it and remember it together. And actually, it started only between shlichim, and today even people, just private people in the house, are just making something in the memory, and they're posting it on social media, and they're telling the story. And this year, the one thing that I said, a lot of Israeli bloggers, food bloggers, started to do it and to share it, so other people will do it too. And I think it's just a great way to remember, because it's those simple things that brings you back to those good memories that you had from a person. Yes. That's it. That's what I have to give you. I think we'll just come back with the results of the cake. I'm going to show you what I'm going to post a picture of what we had. And thank you so much for joining me. And also on Tuesday, we have a moment of silence, incorporating to kind of mention this transition between those 2 days, between Yom Ha'atzmaut and Yom HaZikaron. So if you want to join us, I'll be happy to stay there.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
There's no.